assurance that only you can give. We ask all this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Our consent agenda is the minutes of the regular meeting of March 17, and an appointment order by the prosecuting attorney's office for Samantha Indelicato.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
So,
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
There are 4 tabled agenda items. They all have to do with annual awards, or awarding the annual bid. And Recorder of Deeds first. We have paperwork from these.
Harold?
Yes.
I just, for the record, most time we would do this in regular session.
Right.
You didn't have this, you put this on yesterday because we requested, because these are just standard awarding the bids.
Right.
And they're breaking no new ground.
Right.
You know, this is just the thing we talked about yesterday, having this meeting, we're not breaking any new ground. All we're doing is things that are backed up because we had to cancel last week's meeting and, you know, so.
And
with this-
each of these offices, there's 4 of them, and each of these offices have submitted their bids and everything, and their information, and they asked for those bids to be awarded. So do I have a motion for the Recorder of Deeds bid?
I move that we approve permit the award of the annual bid for the Recorder of Deeds as presented.
Second?
I will second.
All in favor, any questions?
Do you have that?
All in favor, aye? Aye, thank you. And the same thing goes for the assessor's office. We have submitted paperwork that they wish to accept those annual bids, and so do I have a motion?
I would move that we award the bids sent from the assessor for the ensuing year.
And I'd second the motion.
Okay, any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, thank you so much. And same thing for maintenance and janitorial. He's also has submitted his agreement to those awards. Any,
I would move that we award the bids sent from the Brian Briley, the maintenance supervisor by the audit.
And I'd second the motion.
any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. And I think we have one more for the prosecuting attorney's office. Same thing. She did submit the request that we approve those bids. Motion?
I move that we award the annual bids as presented by the prosecuting attorney for the annual bid.
Okay, and second? Second on the motion?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Any questions?
Yeah, I just want to make one comment. All these are in the budget. They are already budgeted. This is not, once again, once you had to have a meeting for the other purpose, at the end of this, these people are waiting for their supplies.
Yes.
These have already been through the auditor's office. They've already, everything's been looked at. We're not rushing anything through. We're just going ahead and rubber stamping what the decisions were, like we do every year, but there's no reason to delay that. That's why I say that, so that the people know that this isn't something new. It's in the budget. They were properly bid. These are just awarding it to the winners of the bids.
And the reason they were tabled in the first place is because we had not had a chance at that time, when they were in the regular meeting,
To review them all.
to review them all, and these 4 had not been reviewed yet. They have been now. Okay, now, I don't have the vote on this one yet, do I?
You have not taken the vote, you just
Okay,
asked for discussion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Come on in, Jay.
Everybody just space yourself.
Okay, permission to request bids for insurance. Now, this is a deadline issue coming up, and this is for property and vehicles.
That's right, and the reason we requested to put on this agenda today is because our insurance ends in May, at the end of May. And we're bidding on, I think, 5 buildings, contents, equipment, and if a bidder, if we wait it too close, they're gonna say, well, we can't go in there and properly do due diligence to give you a bid on your insurance. We've got to try to seek as many bids as possible, so this just is authorizing us to do that. We've already made the list of everything. We've set the deductibles, everything's ready. We're just ready to take it to and put it up, publish it, and send it out for our bids. And we just, rather than waiting another week or so, we need to get this going.
When you count the sheriff's department and the road and bridge, probably 100 vehicles or
Yeah,
more.
we've got lots.
Lots of vehicles.
Some of them are already covered by other insurance, you know, but these are equipment, property, those type of things. And it's going to be a large bid, it always is, but we're going to try to go out and seek multiple bidders this year.
Okay, this is an in-depth study.
On
Okay.
the recommendation, I move that we solicit bids for property and other equipment or properties of the county.
Okay, and second?
I will second.
Any questions? All All in favor, say aye. Aye, thank you so much. And now we have approval to purchase door openers for the jail. They need 2 powered door openers for the Sally Port. The Sally Port is where it just controls entry and exit of the jail system. And they need 2 new door openers for that. This runs between the $500 and $6,000 limit. So he has 1 bid and 1 state-approved letter, but I haven't seen the price on the second one on state-approved. So I would like to just take a credit that we, or a vote that we approve the best purchase on that.
And I will make that, you go ahead.
I would move that we approve the best bid from the jail administrator, Jamie Crump, for the 2 power doors openers for Sally Port.
And I'd second motion.
Any questions?
Comment, these have not been working for some time, and it is really a security issue for the law enforcement and for the safety of the community, so it's something we need to do.
He has a bid from a local supplier that looked like a good bid, but he came up with this supplier on the state bid, but I haven't seen the price on it yet, so I'd like to make sure that we go with the best buy. Okay, any other questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Now, on this issue, that might give people a chance to, if they need comments, it's not on the agenda, but if there's anything that needs to be made before we go into closed session. Once you go to closed session, you can't do that. So
Okay.
take your vote on this and then
Well, I've got
open it up to any other comments.
I've got a couple other things.
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me, any more questions or comments? Okay, all in favor of approving the purchase of the door openers for the jail, please say aye. Aye. Thank you so much. Okay, this is an in-depth slide. Our next regular meeting will be new term Monday, April 6th. And the same rules will apply at that meeting as they do today. And then after that, our next meeting will be on April 21st. We're still going to stay on the every other week for that period of time. So that's the announcement of that. Yes, sir.
We are gonna publish the agenda items 24 hours in advance like we always do. So if the public has questions on any of those agenda items that they would like to submit to you, just do it through my office.
Okay.
You know, you can contact and say, well, I know we can't open this up to the public because of the virus, but we do want to make this comment on this item, or I do want to have this question answered. If that's okay?
Submit written questions or
Submit it, they can email, they can call us. That way the public can participate without having to be here. We give them time to show what's on it. If they would like to ask you a question that you can answer before you would act on it, you can't unfortunately do a follow-up question, but at least they could ask anything that's on items on anything on the agenda.
Okay.
May I?
Yes,
How
Kevin?
will they get the answer if they're not in the meeting? Just curious.
We're broadcasting it. They can upload that anytime and watch the meeting and watch their question being answered.
This will be on, I'll call it on the air, sometime afternoon, early afternoon, this afternoon, on sfcgov.org. Yes.
I think it's great that that people will be able to ask questions. I think that's great. But now let's take, for example, if you'll need to submit the question, will you allow any questions that are anonymous?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That was my question.
Absolutely not.
Because
Been there, done that. You don't
unfortunately,
put your name on it, then you don't get to ask the question.
unfortunately, there are people out there who
Yeah.
are upset and they're liking to spread misinformation. So thank you, Mr. Clerk.
I totally get it. On the policy we have on your shirt, I'll answer anybody's question as long as you tell me who you are. If you're gonna just take pot shots anonymously, then I'm not gonna answer questions.
Thank
It's
you.
always the policy, but
Thank
we'd
you.
be happy to give information, but there's no reason to fear. We're not retributing
No.
to anybody or coming after anybody. We just want the questions to be able to be asked. So tell us who you are, what your question is, and
Thank
we'll
you,
be happy to address it.
Mr. County Clerk.
Okay, involved slide, any questions on the schedule coming up? And I think I have a family commitment on the 6th. I probably won't be here, but other than that.
Figures.
The what?
It said figures.
Yeah.
That's why he said
It's not a funeral.
Okay, anyway, next item. Anybody have correspondence? Any public comments?
Can we go back? I did hear from another commissioner. His name is Jeff Heschler. He is a commissioner from Cole County. He reached out to me and he wanted information on the Adopt a County Road program. I submitted it all to him, and they are having tremendous success with that. I serve on the MAC board with Jeff, and it's great to see other counties utilizing that program.
Okay, any other correspondence? Public comments now. Okay, now departmental reports.
Just want to give one thing, since we moved the April election back to June, we've got 10 weeks to request absentee ballots or come over and vote at our Weber Road location. I would hope that especially our seniors would take advantage of that, because they can go to our website with 2 easy clicks that our newspaper's going to explain in detail. You can get the request a ballot. You have to have it to me by May, I think it's May 10th, let's say. It's either May 10th or May 20th. I should have checked that again, but we have to have it in so that we can get the ballot to you so that you can get it back to us. Or our Weber Road location is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. You could vote in there. We sanitize it before and after every person that's in that office. You won't have to stand in line. What we're trying to do is void lines come June 2nd. So if you want, and if you're disabled and you call us, we will come out and vote you at your car. Then you just pull under the portico there, and we'll vote you there. So I'm encouraging as many people as possible to absentee ballots. You've got 10 weeks to get this done, and we ask that you get up your request in, either so you can do it through the mail or come to our Weber.
But you take special effort to sanitize after everybody comes in?
After everybody comes in. We don't have that many people that come in, so when they're there, we're in an old doctor's office so that you don't come in contact with anybody else, and you can vote and do so. You don't have, it's really, for a senior, I'm highly encouraging. We're trying to get as many people in, and then avoid any type of lines at the polling places. There's still some problems, but we have the elections, we will spread out all the ballots to polling places. We will sanitize like we did this March 20th, and we will make it as safe as possible. But it would sure help if half the people voting have already done it absentee and will not be there the day of that election.
And of course, those ballots aren't counted until election night anyway. There's no.
They can't legally be counted. They're secured.
Yep.
We make sure that everything, nobody knows who their vote is. They put them in there at our office. They put them in and counted separately, privately, just like you do at your voting place. And then if it's through the mail, they come in envelopes that we give you. Just send them back in, and those envelopes aren't open until the afternoon of the election.
And so an absentee ballot has the same safety and validity as an election day ballot.
Absolutely. And that we, this past election, we had one military ballot that was stuck inside of one of the envelopes that had come from overseas. And so we ended up having to count 2 or 3 times until we went back and opened every envelope again and shook and when one had come out. And that's what we have to come to the exact. It has to come to the exact count, just like every precinct does, and none of them are open until there's a absentee committee of Democrats and Republicans that get sworn in and count them on that day. They open them in the presence of everybody. They count them in the presence of everybody.
And it's a secret ballot.
And it's a secret ballot.
Okay. Any departmental? Our Road and Bridge Department has offered to help the Parkland Hospital in setting up drive-through testing facilities. I don't know if they'll utilize that, but they've offered that in any way they could. And I was very proud of our group for coming up with that idea. So we thank them for that. Camp of Hope, and I think I've got the right name on that, but it's an autism support group, has reserved our annex parking lot on 2 Saturdays, the 4th and the 18th of April. And they'll have a car show, and there'll probably be a downtown support walk or something like that. Just let you know what'll be on our parking lot on those 2 Saturdays. Howlett Golf, Louis tells me that was a service station in old Flat River. And they've been now named on the National Register of Historic Places, so we're proud of that.
Have you seen?
No, I have not.
It's right there by the tracks at the.
Well, he was telling me about it.
It looks like a functioning gas station.
It's cool. Okay, well, I'm happy for them. Thank you. And see, I had a couple other comments here. talk about our situation. We are not on a shelter-in-place order. We have decided with the city and others to follow the governor's recommendation on this. So we do ask that people stay isolated, stay apart as you are now, and do that. And should the governor come out with some change in ruling, we'll follow suit. But we're working together with cities and various other groups in the health department and coordinating in that manner. And we talked about absentee voting on sales tax. Thank you to Carrie Glore. She checked with the state. Sales taxes collected in March are reported in April and then paid to us in May. So it'll be May before we know what's happening now with sales tax reports. I suspect it'll drop for the second quarter and maybe even the third quarter. And I hope for a rebound by the fourth quarter. I hope for that. So we'll see what happens. But I think we can expect a drop in our sales taxes for the year. I hope it's not much, but I think it's going to happen. Okay, now I'd like to go into a closed
I have
session.
a question,
Yes, sir.
please.
Yes, sir.
Would you explain to our potential viewers what the current situation is for all the county buildings?
Yes. There is, there is a Supreme Court rule that the courts must stay open, is the way it's worded. So I've taken that rule and indicated on the safe side that the buildings must stay unlocked. And that's what we've done. All of our buildings are open. But you go inside and the offices have access or methods posted on the door. They have electronic media. We're really encouraging that, electronic communication. And then they'll have a place that you can leave your documents or your check or whatever you need to do. So that's how we've handled this. We've handled it depending on the nearly daily court decisions that are coming down on different things and different deduction or payroll methods and everything else that are coming out. So we're just making our decisions based on the decisions that are coming down as they come down. So our building, they're all unlocked, but it's difficult to get in each individual office. We're protecting our people. The people are scheduled on alternating times so that they're not running into each other all the time and hopefully not contaminating each other, and also protecting them and the public from each other. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to protect the people as we go. But yet get our business done. And we are open to essential business. You've got to remember that flooding happens. We've had that last week. Lightning strikes happen. The clocks are still out over there. We had phone problems here last week. And we have to maintain those issues. The public has to know that you can get on the road and go where you need to go, and an ambulance can get to you, or the fire truck can get to you. So we have to maintain passable roads. And so our essential services are important. It's also important that we pay our bills and that we keep supplies coming in. We have to buy fuel for all these trucks and all these sheriff's cars and all these. We don't buy the ambulance fuel, but that has to be done. So we have to pay our suppliers. We have to get these supplies in. We have to buy food for the jail. There's some 100 and some people over there that feed every day, and we have to do that. JDC has people that they feed every day. All these bills have to be paid. All the people have to be paid. We have to maintain essential services. That means people are in these offices working to get those things done, and that's very important to the safety of the community. So that's where we are now.
If you have business with a particular office, it's recommended you call ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Call ahead, whatever you want to do. If you want to call the auditor's office or treasurer or collector, whoever you need to talk to, call ahead, and there'll be someone there to answer your phone call and find out what's the best way to handle your situation. Is the best way to do it.
And we're sanitizing these buildings.
Yes, every ink pen's picked up and sanitized after you hand it and after you handle it and everything else. And so your visit is a clean visit, and so will the next person's visit. Anything else? Okay. All right. I think that covers what I want to talk about.
I would move that we go into closed session under section 610.021 subsection 3 for the legal.
Yeah.
Second motion.
Okay. And all in favor of this, say aye. Okay. We are closing.
Roll call.
You got a roll call.
Oh, roll call,
Yes.
sir.
Wilkins. Gallagher.
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Gallagher.
Aye.
Collins.
Aye.
3 ayes. Motion passes.
Okay. Okay. We're going to take a 5-minute recess and go into closed session.